Yay. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully, we'll get some more people jump on. But we are recording this. Okay, so tonight we're talking about what did I title the message? I must look. I titled it A New Approach for Your Business. And some of you have been here for a really long time, and some are newer, although I want to say most people on here right now are not super new. So I'm excited because there are so many ways to grow yourself a business in Plexus. And we're going to hear about some new ways tonight. And some of them you may have heard of, and some of them you may have not heard of. And so we have a special guest on. Aubrey Guerin is an Emerald Ambassador. We met at the Jules training at corporate. We had an amazing time, greatest group of people. It was so much fun. And Audrey has been acknowledged in Plexus. If you're going to convention, you'll actually see her up there on stage because she accomplished signing the most preferred customers in like the whole company, like in the top 10 people. And so she has done most all of this through her cold market. And of course, I'll let her share all that. We're going to have her come on and share, but I want to give a little bit of information about her. So like I said, she is an Emerald. She lives in, is it Raleigh, North Carolina? Okay. Raleigh, North Carolina. And she joined Plexus in January 2015. And she saw her husband's, her husband saw a friend's post and he wanted to lose weight. And so she just thought it was dumb and she was too professional. She's a CPA to be involved in network marketing scams. So she used to say, right? And she finally gave in thinking it would be a placebo effect. She had amazing results, started talking about it, learning, got excited because people were noticing her weight loss. She had no interest in the business until a few months later when her husband had to go to the ER. And basically they were struggling with, oh my gosh, how are we going to pay this bill? And so she decided to give Plexus a try. She hated salespeople. And it wasn't until she read Eric Worre's Becoming a Network Marketing Professional book that she decided this was skills that she could learn. She could do this. And so she says, I'm an optimist. She keeps going. She's always learning. She's incredibly passionate about helping people, and nothing makes her happier than motivating and empowering others and helping them to recognize their God-given talents. And then she went Emerald in September 2017. So I'm so excited to have you, and I'm so excited for everyone to be able to hear from you tonight. Okay, so you tell us, Aubrey, how did you even come to messaging strangers? Like, can you bring us kind of up to that point, or did you start off like that? Because I don't even know.
No, definitely not. So you did a great job introducing me. I don't always look quite this gorgeous, but I just got out of the shower and I really needed to wash my hair. So anyway,
that's the beautiful thing to this business.
Look at this joy on skin, right? Okay.
Oh yeah, totally.
If these glasses get on your nerves, I'm sorry. My 4-year-old is autistic and she stood on them, so they kind of go like this. But anyway, yes, I'm naturally extroverted, but not necessarily with strangers, because I don't want to annoy people. I want everybody in the world to like me. I know that's not realistic, but I really do. So no, I wasn't one of those people that was going to message strangers because I didn't want to annoy them. But let's see, I started in 2015, and by about the summer of 2016, probably, I had really gone through almost everybody that I knew on Facebook to message. And so I would send cold messages on Facebook, but it was people I at least kind of knew or had known at some point in my life. But my hometown was the place that one of the big Jules went to college, and so a lot of those people had already tried Plexus. My college is where Jessica Heffley went to college, so a lot of those people had tried Plexus. So I was in this position where I was I was just like, who do I message? I feel like I'm running out of people. I'm messaging the same people over and over again. I'm not getting any results. I've got to do something. And so I did a couple of things. One thing I did is I joined a network marketing group called BNI, Business Networking International, to meet some more local people. And we meet once a week, and you talk about your business and you refer for each other. So I did that. But the other thing I started doing is trying to friend random people on Facebook. And I've done it since then and learned a lot of things about it that have really helped me to be more successful. But I can tell you that almost all of the people that, well, probably 75% maybe of the people that I signed during the convention contest were people that I didn't know before Plexus. And I'll say right here real quick that I don't feel bad ever adding people on Facebook. I don't feel like I'm just collecting friends or using people, because my goal, if you see my Facebook, you should be able to tell that my goal in everything is to add value to people. And partially because I feel good about me when I add value to people. So it's not completely selfless, but I want to add value to people's lives by them being in mine. So if I'm going to add you to my Facebook, then you're going to get value from my Facebook. You're going to laugh at my daughter swinging from the chandelier or standing in the sink. You're going to feel good about your parenting because I share stories about how my parenting is not perfect. You're going to feel good. You're going to get some good quotes. You're going to get some good tips. Anyway, so I don't feel bad about that. And you have to get to that point.
Okay, so I think, wait, stop right there. I think that's important to stop on, because you're telling us that you're not just posting Plexus.
Oh, absolutely not. And that's a part of the process and a part of what they're going to have to do. So I can talk about how I add, how I find those people to add, and some good strategies and some not so great strategies. But since you mentioned posting, I'll say this. When you are adding a lot of people that don't know you, when you're adding lots of new friends, and I really think you need to be adding lots of new friends and building your network all the time, I feel like your personal posts are more important than your Plexus posts. And that's kind of like, whoa, but when I first started, my Plexus post, it was so important, and that was going to get me the customers and the ambassadors, but no. These people that don't know you, the only way they're going to know you is by your posts. By your live videos is one of the best ways, just because they feel like they know you more. But they're going to know you by your posts. And so your non-Plexus posts are more important than your Plexus posts. My posts are set to friends only, the Plexus ones, but you can see my non-Plexus posts if you want to look at my page. And I feel like those are actually the most important. I focus on things that add value to people. I make sure that I don't get involved in anything controversial. If it goes controversial, it gets deleted, because I just don't do controversy. I never did. I don't want to. I hate fighting. I'm one of those that'll say, I'm sorry, even if I know I did nothing wrong. But we don't do controversy. We don't do politics. We don't do religion, other than the fact that I am a Christian, and people are going to know that, and they don't really want to join my team if they're not, because they're just going to get tired of hearing about Jesus probably anyway. So it's not a judgmental thing, but I don't do the fights about, I don't post about anything like that. I post motivational quotes, but I don't just post a quote. I write something personal with it and share a little bit of my personality in that. I do live videos sometimes about things in my life, or things that let them to see what kind of person I am. And that's the point. Like, they have to be able to see what kind of person you are and feel like they can trust you before they're going to buy from you, because they don't have a clue who you are. You can post the most amazing Plexus testimonies ever, and they don't know you. They're not going to trust you because you just added them out of nowhere. So that's very, very important. And then on the Plexus side, you have to be very careful to use attraction marketing and not be salesy. I don't mean be secretive and like make it so hard to figure out what you're selling that they give up. Like one person that friended me today, it was obvious they were trying to get me to join their Beachbody company, but they never said Beachbody. I don't want you to be
ashamed of Plexus.
Yeah, ashamed or manipulative. I want people need to know that you're in network marketing, that you do sell a product, but you don't have to give them all the information. Flirt with them, tease them, give them a little bit, but to give really good testimonies, really good stories, really good testimonies. along with those really awesome personal posts. And if you have not thought much about branding, you have to figure out who you are. Like, what things make you who you are? Who do you want to portray on social media? And I'm not saying you have to portray that you're perfect, but I'm not going to post 8 posts in a week about my mom fails. You know, I told my mom she was working on her branding and she wanted to do Instapot stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Do some really good recipes, but also throw in some fails every now and then to show that you're real. You don't want to highlight the fact that you suck at life, because then nobody's going to want to follow you. But you also want to make sure that you seem genuine and real, and highlight your better parts. People expect that, but just make sure to always show that you're not perfect and you are genuine and you are real and you care about people. And if you want to see what I do, you can look at my page. My daughter is autistic. I'm wearing my autism, see the world from a different angle. It's upside down. I had to explain it to my 7-year-old today. He didn't really get it. But so I do, you know, I post about that a lot. People like heartwarming stories about cute little children. If you have cute little children, use them. Nobody will blame you for that. But, you know, figure out who you are and what you're passionate about, and share that with people, just like on Instagram, if y'all have done the Instagram stuff. So yeah, you're going to be trying to add new friends that we'll talk about, and then they are going to figure out who you are by your posts. So those are very important. I also tell people only post 2 or 3 times a day. The training that we've had on engagement from Bob Heilig, who is really studying it right now, he says that if you post more than that, you're competing with yourself and you're ruining your engagement.
What about once a day? Any thoughts on that, or just 1 to 3 times a day is good?
I don't think 1 is bad. I wouldn't do more than 3, and I would do at least 1. There's different opinions. I usually post 1 Plexus and 1 personal a day. I also have all my posts set to approved tags. So I don't let those things on my page if it's going to be too much on my page. I really kind of try to make my page like a running magazine type thing, although I don't look like a magazine, and that's not part of my brand. But that's why when I post convention photos, people are going to be like, who are you? And what happened to Aubrey? Anyway, but I just try to, it's more like a journal. Let's go with inspirational journal that my page is more like. So now back to how to get friends. Now, there are a couple of things that I did in the beginning that you can definitely do. And then there's one new thing that I've done recently that was not my idea that's been awesome. So a couple of the basic things that anybody can do is just go through the people you may know. If you have like 10, 15 mutual friends, they'll probably accept you. So, you know, if they look good and not creepy, then add them. Realtors always want to accept you because realtors want as many friends as possible, and they need lots of energy, and they usually eat like crap as they're running around doing all their stuff and taking care of clients, and so they probably need Plexus too. And they want to look good for their clients and their pictures, so they'll need Joyum. But realtors are great. Any other business professionals or people that just look like people you'd enjoy talking to. But here's the deal when you do that. If you do that, you really want to do it strategically. I don't always do as well with this, but when you add people and you see them, once they accept, they'll pop up in your messenger thread as so-and-so, you are now connected with so-and-so. Send them a message. If you don't send them a message, you will lose that engagement and they probably won't see your posts. And you want them to see your posts because that's how they're going to get to know you and know about your products. And you really would prefer them to come to you because then they think it's their idea. So you want to send them a message. What I usually do is send them a message and say, hey, thanks for accepting my friend request. And then I give 1 or 2 sentences about why I requested them. Sometimes if I'm feeling goofy and it seems appropriate, I might say, I promise I'm not a stalker. I promise I'm not a crazy stalker. I just noticed that the one recently that I sent was, I noticed your autism profile picture and looks like our girls are about the same age. I love that you're spreading awareness, and us autism mamas got to stick together because we know what it's like. Sent similar things to other business women, people that run their own business. I say, oh, I love adding, you know, other business women on. I got to pull this up or I'm going to have to get it wet again before I wash it. But okay, so I love adding other business women so we can support each other. Tell me more about your business. I try to show interest in them, or at least say, another one, oh, I love all your inspirational posts. I need more of that in my life. Just something. Just say something. If they don't respond to you, it doesn't hurt you, and you wouldn't have gotten engagement from them anyway. So you're going to get more engagement out of them if you send them a message, because then Facebook's going to be like, oh, they like each other. They want to talk to each other. If you add people and you don't interact within the first 5 to 7 days, Facebook thinks you don't want to talk to them, and they won't see your stuff. So go through that. If you have local Facebook groups like the women of wherever you guys live, or networking women of wherever you guys live, business people, on those groups, add people sometimes if they look like somebody that you have a lot of common friends with, or ask a question, and then you can add the people that, like, you might in one of your neighborhood groups. Let's say that you are, or your city groups, let's say that you are looking for somebody to paint your house, and you go ask for recommendations, and then some people give you some recommendations. Well, then you can friend request them and send them a message and say, hey, I wanted to ask you a few other questions, but I figured it would be better just to take it off the post, blah, blah, blah. So they're going to accept your friend request at that point. Then they're just going to kind of forget that y'all were talking, probably.
Question, do you pay attention to if they're with another company? Do you friend or not friend people from other companies? What's your stance on that?
Okay, I don't typically friend the ones that are basically like brainwashed and they're never going to listen to you. You may know some like that. That has been my experience with many in some of the competing companies. But if they're in a different non-competing company, absolutely. I had a salesperson tell me once that salespeople are the best targets, because salespeople are good at selling, but then they're also good at being sold too. So they like they're more willing to listen. So yeah, absolutely. Other companies, yes. Because you don't know if they're happy with their company, but you don't have to attack them about their company. I mean, I would never do that, but you build a relationship, and then, at some point you might have an opportunity to talk about the difference in your compensations plans. Or you might just find a loyal customer. You never know, but you might have somebody to give you more insight into their company and to understand why Plexus is better. You don't have to tell them that, but anyway, so yeah, I don't stay away from other companies unless they're competing companies. Like at this point now, I would not be adding new Rodan and Fields people, or people in Beachbody, or people that are super, super into their oils and think oils solve the world's problems. Because they're probably not going to listen to, they're going to think they already know everything, and they're not going to. Now, if it's somebody then keep being a friend with them and keep interacting. And I have some oil people that finally, after 2 years, have decided that they do think our probiotic might be better than theirs. But I'm not going to go start with those people. And I'm never going to judge or think bad things about them, but that's not, I have so much recruiting time, and that's not where I'm going to put my time. Now, the other thing I would say about that is something came in my head. You can ask your question while I'm thinking about what was in my head.
Okay, so that was really good and informative. Okay, so you talked about how you're finding people, and you talked about some examples of how you're messaging them. Now, what does the rest of the process look like?
Okay, yes, that's where I needed to go. But let me tell you one more thing that has recruited more people, more new friends for me than anything else. And I don't know if you saw, can't remember who it was now, but there was a Jewel that posted about an exercise group that she was doing.
Yes, we've actually done that. Julie
Adams, yes. Adams. Okay, so we decided to try that. And what I did was go post in my local women's groups that I had already been active in. And I just posted, we're doing a plank and squat challenge. I need some accountability. Who wants in? And I had hundreds of comments. And if you make it a private group, not secret, but if you make it private, they have to be your friend before you can add them. So my tips on that would be that tell people when you post that to send you a friend request, and you will add them. And then keep a list of all those people so that you know who you've added, so that you can go back to that later if you want to look at who you added at that time. And I also, when I was most successful, I actually responded to every single one of them. One time it was about 400 people, and I just said, hey, so glad you're going to join our group. Welcome to our group. So excited to get to know you better and encourage each other. And I just copy pasted that to 400 people because I wanted that engagement and I wanted them seeing my posts. Now, the other thing I did was I created a drip list on Facebook. I created a friend list that was all those people from that month so that I know that I added them then. But what I really focused on that my upline helped me do is in our fitness group, we had a post every day with the daily exercise. So plank this long, this many squats. And the ones that did it, I just went in every day and said yay and their name under their comment, because they're supposed to comment that they did it, and I said yay and their name. Well, let me tell you, Facebook thinks that we are best buds. And all I'm doing literally is going through on the computer. It would take me no more than 10, 15 minutes a day to go through and say, yay, Brianna, yay, Claire, yay, Sarah, yay, Sarah.
So you're saying that Facebook recognizes, because you're interacting with them, that now they're going to see more of your stuff?
Uh-huh. And then after I'd been doing that for a little bit, maybe a couple of weeks, every couple of weeks I would post or at least once a week, I'd post a really, really visually appealing testimony. I'd make sure that it didn't only mention weight loss, but the picture typically had some weight loss in it because that got their attention. And then I would post in there sometime in the month a post about, not in the group. I didn't do any sales in the group. I didn't allow sales or talk of sales in the group. But on my personal page, I would post really good testimonies. And then I'd also post, hey, I've got these samples of my pink drink. Who wants one? And so I get a lot of those people commenting on there because this is new to them. They're just now seeing this. And they're starting to like me because they see me saying, yay, so-and-so every day. And that's really all I did. I mean, that is super easy. And so the last time I did it, I got 100 new friends. The time before that, I got 400. And so I'm not really pushing to add more people this month. I'm just kind of working with what I've got, but it's been really helpful. So that is the best way to add friends quickly, but you have to commit to keeping track of those so you don't waste that, and sending them that message welcoming them, and then commenting in your group. And it's probably easier if everybody sets up their own group, or at least y'all break it down into small groups, because what's going to happen is you're not going to want to take the time to go through the list and figure out, well, this was Kristen's potential and this was Alyssa's potential. And I don't want it to seem like I only care about my potentials, but I really don't want to build engagement with their potentials. So if y'all want to see my group, I'm happy to add you and let you see my group. I can add Autumn, and then she can add any of you guys if y'all want to see it.
I copied Julie, so I have exactly what you have.
Good.
And I actually did one myself and got lots of new friends. I'm super glad you brought that up, because that's actually perfect for this training tonight. So yeah.
Yay! Okay, awesome. So the next thing you had asked was, what do I do after I add those new friends? So I kind of created this. I like illustrations and analogies. That's how my brain works. And so I sat at Leaders Retreat trying to come up with one, and the best I could come up with for something that I wanted, something that has multiple steps in a process that you have to keep doing all of those steps all of the time to keep it going, because that's kind of what we have. And so I came up with laundry, because I feel like women, are there any men? I don't know if we have any men, but as women, we understand that the laundry never stops. It's a cycle that just keeps on going. But you can't just quit putting the clothes in the hamper, because then they won't ever make it to the washing machine. And you can't just be like, well, I don't want to dry clothes anymore. I'm just going to skip that step. Well, then you won't have any dry clothes. I mean, you can't just say, well, I'm going to quit washing. I'm going to do all the other steps, but I'm going to quit washing. I mean, you can't do that. You have to, and in my house, you have to be doing all the steps every single day, because my husband did enough laundry for us before I had kids. I mean, he made enough laundry. So anyway, but my steps are, we've already gone over, always be increasing your network, adding new friends. That's step number one. And then you need to build relationships with those people. And that's by interacting with them, engaging with them, making good posts that they can see and comment on. And then step number 3 is the messaging them. And I do message these people. If they don't comment before about like maybe 2 months later, right now I'm messaging a lot of people that joined my February group. So it's been 3 months because I haven't needed to message any people before then because I've had other people. But I try to message about 10 people a day. And I basically just send them a message, something along the lines of, hey, hope you're doing well. Have you ever tried the new Plexus pink drink? If not, I'm doing a blitz to spread, to see what people think about it, and I'd love to send you a free sample. Some of my teammates do a different message. Basically, I'm sure you've seen my Plexus post by now. Have you ever tried it? Have you ever thought about trying it? Just basically short, sweet, simple, to the point, end with a question. Mm-hmm.
So is this like technically your second message you've ever sent to them?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Often, yeah.
Okay.
But I have likely interacted with them at some point previous to that in posts and comments and stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, a lot of times it's the second message. And a lot of them are like, sure, I'll try it. I probably get about a 2 out of 10 ratio. And as a half red, half yellow, I feel really good about myself when I'm offering them a sample, and I don't have to feel like worried that they're going to get mad at me for messaging them and being annoying. So if you're fine with just sending them a message and asking them a question or asking them if they want information, I mean, it really doesn't matter what message you send as long as it's short. Super duper short, like that they can probably read it without even clicking on their phone. Like it needs to be short. And I put a little pink glass. I mean, it looks like wine, but some of them look at it because it looks like wine because it's the little pink drink, But and I just send them that message. And so a lot of them will, I'll get some responses, and then I send them a sample. Some of them will just say, they'll ask me questions. If they ask me questions, I've been doing third-party tools. I've been sending the Triplex video and Jill Warness's new pink drink video. What I'll send for HC will be some super short, like 3-minute video that talks about Slim HC whenever we have one of those. And it won't be me talking about it. It'll be a third party, hopefully some type of health professional or health coach or something that I can say, oh, my health coach friend explains it way better. Here's a super short video. Tell me what you think. So I use a third-party tool. So, if they contact me, I go ahead and give them, I say, oh, I love the pink drink. Here's what is it? Oh, this video explains it. Great. Or then, and then I ask them what they thought about that. And then if I contact them, then I send them a sample. I ask them what they thought about it. They'll either tell me they hated it or they'll say, oh, I liked it. It tasted good. I say, okay. And then, then I'll ask, sometimes they'll ask, how much is it? Sometimes they'll ask more about, so what does it do? I do usually send a pamphlet about Slim with the sample. I found that people actually do like to read stuff when it comes in the mail because they don't get stuff in the mail that's interesting. So they will usually read it if they actually open it and do anything with it. But so then I still try to send them the video. And once people have gotten, because the next step after you send a message is follow up. And so once people have gotten a sample, those are the people that I invite to our team parties and that I message when we have specials. Sometimes if they say, oh yeah, I liked it, I'm saying, okay, do you want more info? Yeah, not right now. I'm like, okay. And then when we have a team party or we have a team special, those are the people I message. And I get a lot better response to my team parties because they've already been interested and they've already tried a sample.
So you're really organized because I can already see people on here not being organized. You guys can be really flighty with this business and miss all sorts of amazing potentials. And the reason why Aubrey is so successful is she is organized. She keeps these people on a running list. She has some set of organization going for her business, so she knows who she's contacting when it's time for, an event. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I have an app for that. It's called Errands, ERRANDS. And I have a list of people that I've mailed samples to. And then I have a list, once they've gotten the sample, then I have a list, or once I've mailed it, then I have a list of people that I need to follow up on samples with. If we never do a sample, then the next list is funnel. And that funnel list stays there and gets carried forward every month. And then that way I don't lose people. I used to lose people all the time. I'd be like, what the heck? I gave them a sample 6 months ago. And look, I never asked them about it. That's great. But now I keep those 3 lists on my phone. And I always know, like when I mail the sample, I copy and paste like about once a week or every 2 weeks. I just copy and paste the information from the mail list over to the follow-up sample list. And then they stay on the follow-up sample list until they either respond to me or until I'm tired of following up with them about the sample and I give up and I just move them over to the funnel. And so I copy paste and move them over, and that I don't lose anybody that way. And then I have so errands, you can basically have tasks, and then you can have notes on your tasks. And so I have them set up as separate tasks and notes on those tasks. So that's the follow-up step. That's step number 4. Step number 5 is close the deal. So that's where, you get them to go to a party, and then you try to, get them to purchase. You use a special. I mean, I have this philosophy that pretty much any day I can be having a special because I run my business. And so if they need incentive to purchase, then I'm having a special that day. And then, if they need to be in a third-party chat, if they have fibromyalgia, then, I'm be like, oh, you have got to hear my friend so-and-so's story. And then I put them in a 3-way chat. Just, something to close the deal. Then once you close the deal, the final step is to make sure to provide good customer care. Make sure to follow up with them on a regular basis and keep up with them to make sure they use their products and love them. And don't be scared to follow up, because if you notice, we just spent that much time talking about, you can't see my other hand, this much time talking about getting them to sign up and get on your reports, and then you're gonna just give up on follow-up after you've put all that time into them? No, that's dumb. And I was doing that because I was scared to hear that they didn't like it. If they don't like it, that's okay. I like to try to hold them off until the next month to get a refund, but other than that, if they don't like it, whatever. There's tons more people out there that will like it.
You got the whole United States, Australia, Canada, New Zealand.
Yeah.
Guys, you have endless potential for your business. That's the point I want to get across in this training.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, most of these people I didn't know. Eric Worre said in his book that a true network marketing professional never runs out of potentials. And I thought that was crazy at first, but I get it now because you're always trying to build new relationships because it's all about relationships. And if you don't hear anything else I said, add value to that relationship, give something to them, and then you will likely receive value in return. And it's not a thing of, well, I'm adding value to you so you can add value to me. Add value to them because you care about people and you want to help people, and then that will make you the kind of person that other people want to come to and follow.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Does that all make sense? Are you good?
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions for Aubrey real fast? Rachel and I are going to continue this training after she's done, but I want to catch any questions that you guys have before she jumps off. Anyone want to type it out in the chat or unmute themselves?
And if you have questions later, Autumn can send me your questions. I'm happy to answer.
I was gonna ask you something. So I've been sending out samples, and I've had some people that they keep saying, "Oh, I've forgotten to try it," or they'll say things like, "I haven't checked my mail yet," or just lazy things like that. So I don't want to keep bugging them. What do I do from there after I've already sent them out something and I've asked them already a couple of times in 2 days?
Well, I think we assume that, we always assume that it's as much on their mind as it is on ours, and it's just not. And so they need to be reminded. I've actually had people thank me for reminding them. But one thing I've found when they're saying, if they've actually checked their mail If they haven't checked their mail, then I say, well, let me know if you got it, because a few of them have gotten lost in the mail, and I just want to make sure it got there. Sometimes when I can't get a response of did you receive your sample, and when I try, hey, I just want to make sure you got your sample, because a few of them got lost, and I just want to make sure you got yours. Usually they'll answer because they feel bad not answering. But if, so once they've gotten the sample and they won't take the stinking thing, I found that most of them are waiting for the perfect magical moment to take it. And so usually what I say is, girl, you can take it any time of the day. Don't worry about what time of day you take it. You can drink it any time of the day. It's really just to see how easy it is and how yummy it tastes. And a lot of times that will help. And if you feel bad about continuing to follow up, then you can use the permission marketing style of, do you think that you'll try it by, when do you think you'll try it? So I can leave you alone until then. Do you think you'll try it, but, think you'll try it Sunday? Or when do you think you'll try it? And then I'll follow up after that. And if I get to the point that I'm just sick of them and I'm like, whatever, then I'll just say something like, okay, well, I'm here when you try it. And then, I'll leave them alone. But you gave them something that costs money, so don't feel bad.
Okay. And another big question I'm finding that I have.
Wait, Lisa, you're breaking up. Can you try again?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll sit really still. One big thing I'm finding is, and maybe I'm saying the wrong thing, but I'll leave messages and people, you can see that they've read it or they'll just stop reading my messages. And I'm wondering what to do from there, because I don't want to keep bugging them, but I'm also wondering why all of them aren't saying anything.
Okay, which messages are these?
So they're all different kinds. Like like one's like, oh man, I can't think now that I'm put on the spot.
That's okay. I mean, so in lots of different circumstances, it's not just one type of message. It's across the board. People don't respond to your messages real regularly.
Yeah.
Okay,
like
number one,
my story with my daughter's huge, and a lot of people, tons of people on Facebook know about it because she has a rare autoimmune disease. So I'll be like, I am so in love with these vitamins. As you know, they've done so much for my daughter, and now they're doing so much for me. Can I share with you some more information about it? Or then we'll also have sip and sees, and I'll be like, would you be interested in learning more about the product at my sip and see? And I'll leave it with a question. And if I get a response, that's the one I get it on. But it will be like, I'm so happy that it's doing something for Bryn, but I'm just not interested, or now's not the time. And so then I'm like, okay, well, thanks for being honest. And that's how I'll leave it like that. But other than that, I don't get really any responses unless it's I'm not interested, or yes, they'll come to the sip and see, but then that's about it. That's where I get my potentials, is at the sip and sees. But other than that, I haven't had luck on messages.
I would say on the messages, a lot of times, people just aren't ready. But one of the books that I read said that if people aren't responding, or if you're not able, if you're not being able to convert them, then you need to go back and work on the relationship. So they may not, you may not be close enough yet that they've decided to listen to you, or you may not have gotten to their why yet. Your why may not be their why. So you have to, that kind of thing is you need to talk back and forth until you kind of figure out their why, and then make some posts and even, if they're close enough, you can talk to them about that specific why. Show them how what you have could be the solution to their needs, wants, desires, that kind of thing. Does that help at all? And you should remember that most people are busy and they just don't answer messages a lot of times. So you have to follow up a whole lot of times before you get a response. Statistics say that it takes 5 to 12 touches before somebody's gonna purchase something in network and sales. I guarantee you that our company's on the high end, pulling that average up. I mean, I've followed up with people probably 20 something times before they've joined, and just because it takes people a long time to decide they're going to do something health related.
Yeah.
So what would cause somebody to ignore you? Like, because they'll have that little check mark instead of their face. Then you can tell that they don't want to respond to you, and it's like, okay, if I
Okay, and then that is part of the problem right there, because we automatically assume if they don't respond that they don't want to talk to us. That's only sometimes the case. Me personally, if I don't respond, it could mean that I was about to respond and then my daughter jumped in the sink and was throwing paper towels on the floor. It could mean that I was starting to do something and my husband came home and I had to talk to him about dinner. It could mean that I got a call from the school, come pick up your child because she ran into a table. I mean, there are so many different reasons that they could have started to respond and then kind of wanted to go research it and then forgotten to research it and then not responded. It doesn't really help you to assume that they don't want to talk to you. Just give it a little bit of time and then follow up again later. If it's a situation where you've given them a sample or they're on the fence about purchasing and you kind of, I call it the sigh deeply and feel your gut method. I kind of look at it, I'm like, when's the last time I messaged them? How do I feel about messaging them again? Should I message them about Plexus? Should I message them about something personal? Or should I just go comment on a lot of their pictures to remind them that I'm not going anywhere?
Yeah, I love that, because in the beginning, as you know, we all probably did, I messaged, and I even showed that on one of our trainings once. I went way back to some of these people, and it was just Plexus, Plexus, Plexus in my message to them. No friendship. I don't care about them. All I want is their sale, you know? And so exactly that, like, think about, when was the last time you interacted with them? Is this going to be like, are they going to be rolling their eyes when this message comes in from you again, because they're now totally annoyed because all you care about is Plexus? Or are you actually engaging with them?
And I think you can use your marketing and your branding on Facebook to show them before they even get a message from you that you are not the kind of person that only cares about a sale. I have very rarely recently have I had anybody that that thinks that I'm just out there to get them to buy things. But I've worked I feel like I'm a better person because of being in network marketing, because I've had to work twice as hard to show what kind of person I am, to make sure that people don't think that that's all that I care about, because it's not. And if they know me, they know that I give away more products than I should, for sure, just because I want people to have it if they're struggling. So, they know that I care about them as a person. It's more important than just the sale. And you can do that as a part of your branding too. But you should definitely don't assume the worst. It doesn't help you. Maybe you assume positively and you're wrong, but you don't waste time assuming negative things. And I'm not judging you, because we've all done it. I'm just saying, just tell yourself you're not going to do that, because it's not helpful to you.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? And then we're going to let Aubrey go. Thanks so much, Aubrey, for doing this. This is just awesome.
Well, I love helping, so I'm glad to help. And if y'all have any other questions, please let me know. It's a lot of information, and it's a process that I've created over lots of months of trying to figure it out and doing it wrong and figuring out better ways to do it. So I'm not perfect, but I'm always happy to share. The One Plexus concept makes me very proud of our company.
Oh, so. I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Let me know if y'all have any other questions later.
All right, girl. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Okay, everyone. So hang in there real fast, because Rachel and I are that was only part of our training. We wanted to go over a couple other things with you guys in regards to other ways to grow your business. And I'm just trying to get something ready here. Okay, so, oh shoot, I forgot to ask Aubrey one last thing, which I was going to ask her, which was how many people does she friend in a day? I don't think she said that, but what really got me thinking about, new and creative ways to grow your business. And by the way, I need to make it clear right here, right now, that we are not saying abandon your warm market. because your warm market still needs to be amongst your IPA every day. Growing relationships, reaching out, inviting to Plexus events. That is always your number one priority, and finding people that you once knew or your acquaintances with. That's always your goal, is to have those people on Facebook always. They are priority because they will come order from you first. But we're talking about plan B, the rest of your time in growing a business outside of your warm market. That's what this training is about, okay? So I just want to make sure you have your priorities straight before we go too deep into this. So you're not going to go do only what she does every single day and abandon your warm market. So in attending and meeting with all these other jewels, I also met another jewel from Australia. She went emerald in 9 months, and I am going to share what she did, okay? So she also friends 3 new people a day. And I am not sure her method or tactic as to finding those 3 people. I don't think she really has one. She probably finds some mutual friends, probably just straight up friends some strangers, but she friends 3 new people a day. And then she also does, mind you, some sip and seas in person. She does like 1 a week. So I want to make that clear. But as far as social media goes, when she started Plexus, she put together this Plexus page, this private page that she added like all of her friends and family to. And guess what happened? She said half of them left. So she realized, okay, apparently my friends and family don't want to be on this page, so I'm going to have to go and work my cold market. And so while she's still posting on Facebook, she does her Plexus posts, she started a testimony page. And so I'm going to share with my screen with you here real fast and show you a testimony page. I started one myself, and all it is testimonies. That is literally it. Testimonies, 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 and testimonies, okay? And what she does, and I called it Healthy Happy You. You can call your page whatever you'd like. It's a private page. And what she does is she posts testimonies in there. She posts 1 testimony in the morning and 1 at night. Now, I have managed to hit about once a day. I've struggled a little bit with remembering morning and night, so I need to probably set an alarm. But I recommend that if you're going to do this, then I need to get more serious and set an alarm about doing morning and night, but at least minimum once a day. But she posts morning and night 1 testimony. And she added in her friends and family. And then what she does, you guys, is she messages 20 strangers a day. 20. And let me read to you. I will give you this verbiage in the post on Legacy Leaders. So if for some reason you're not on Legacy Leaders, then you need to message us. This is the post that she sends to complete strangers. Hi, Cheryl. I saw your post, and I hope you don't mind me reaching out. I have a health supplement business that focuses on gut health, stabilizing blood sugar, and reducing inflammation. Our products have great success in helping with energy, allergies, weight management, pain, anxiety, cholesterol, focus, regularity. I guess something's misspelled here. Cycles and regulating hormones. Our products are all natural, plant-based, vegan-friendly, gluten-free, and non-GMO. Safe for pregnancy, breastfeeding, and children. It might be worth a look. I believe getting healthy on the inside is important for any long-term changes. My group is below. Feel free to click and learn more. And then her name, Rachel, and a happy face. Okay, so that is what she sends along with her group link. So I've been doing this for about a month and a half. I wanted to kind of get things up and going. I know another jewel that does this, and her level 1 that she taught to do this. And I will tell you, I added in some of my friends and family, and I've been messaging 20 people a day. And usually within that 20, on average, I'll get one person out of the 20 that will come join my group. Sometimes two. Sometimes, some days I won't have any. And mostly it's because strangers don't always see your post because they're strangers, and you don't want to friend 20 people a day, because then you'll probably be put in Facebook jail. But the max you can do in messaging comfortably without being put in Facebook jail is that 20. So I want to challenge you, and we're actually going to have a challenge, and we'll talk about that in a couple, to start messaging 20 people a day. You do your regular IPA, you post on your Facebook, but then when you get that extra spare time, go message 20 people. And like we said, you have the whole United States, guys. Go through a friends list, go through various groups that you're in. You have the whole US. Go find some people in Canada, in Australia, in New Zealand, okay? 20 people a day. And so this girl, Rachel, the one that I was talking to that does this, her goal is to get at least one person a day on her page. And then by posting testimonies, that is how she gets these strangers eventually to message her, okay? So now you can't expect people to comment on your testimony page. You can't expect it. I asked her about this because I'm like, man, like nobody's saying a word. Yeah, that's normal. She's been doing this for like a year now, and her page is just like completely silent. Maybe like every once in a while she'll have someone say something or like something. Other than that, completely silent. So I want you to know that that's normal to have a completely silent page. People are watching. Now, the other thing that I like about this is that Aubrey did say, how she posts a testimony on Facebook. We do need to make it clear that we can't really post testimonies on Facebook. I mean, you can, it's your own business, but you might be getting contacted by compliance and asked to take it down. And you don't want to be contacted by them too many times, okay? Because that could jeopardize, your business potentially. So if you do post a testimony on Facebook or on Instagram, if you do, I would recommend that you leave it up for maybe 24 hours, maybe 48 hours, and then take it down. Okay, but the whole point of this group is that we can actually post testimonies galore in this group and let them stay there and let them sit in front of people. I just added someone the other night, like a cousin that I don't know all that well, and literally the next day I got a message saying, all right, I'm ready to try the triplex. I'm like, what? Like that was nothing. I should have added her way sooner. Now, not to say all your people are going to be like that, but I have now gotten probably about 4 or 5 people in just this month and a half that have either signed as customers or signed as ambassadors. So it is worth it for you to do this. And I say, if you're going to do this, commit to a full year of doing it. Commit to a full year, and it takes 2 seconds. All you do is you go to the Let's Get Healthy page, you grab a testimony, and you throw it in your testimony page, and that is it. You're done. You did your good deed. Okay, so consider, if you have people in Let's Get Healthy, you probably don't want to add them to this too, or it's your choice. You may take them out of that and put them in this. But I will tell you, this other Jewel, her level 1, she has now signed, I think, 3 to 5 people, can't remember which one it is now, from her just starting a testimony page in like 2 weeks, I think it was. She signed, I think it was 3 people. And one of the people actually reached out to her and said, okay, I have paid more attention to this because like this is your page and these testimonies, and it's been in front of her face. So it's a great way. It's kind of like the old school way. What you guys don't know is that a lot of the jewels, like right before Aaron and I came into this business, that was like around the time that things were changing. And we were able to post testimonies galore. And jewels before that were just posting testimonies all day long, raking in the people, okay? So now this is your new way to rake in the people privately and still be able to share those testimonies, which is ultimately what gets people. They need to see what the products do for others and have their belief built. So I think that does my portion on that. I'm going to welcome on now Rachel to, Rachel, go ahead and just talk about your next two things, if that, or yeah, whatever works, whatever you want to do. I can't hear you. Nope, can't hear you. But I can read your facial expressions. Are you serious? Do you need to get on your phone and have me keep talking? Okay, I'll keep talking while you get on your phone. Okay, so now the next thing I quickly wanted to talk about while Rachel gets situated, which will kind of flow into her deal, is growing in this business. You know, you need to keep people in your funnel. You need to keep filling your funnel with new people. And that's why it is said, yes, go find all of the people you know, but then get contact information from the grocery store clerk, or when you're out and about, or strangers on Facebook. You just had a whole training on how to fill your funnel with new people. When you sign new people, unless you're signing like 20 people a month, like Marianne on Instagram, or this friend of mine, that friend of mine that did that testimony group, you guys, she signs like 20 people a month. That's how she went to Emerald in 9 months. She basically signed herself to Emerald. And same with this other girl, Marianne. Now what's crazy is when you sign that many people that fast, attrition like doesn't, even hardly phase that kind of growth. So you build so fast that, so this is everything that we're talking about on this training is a whole new way to get even more active with your business and sign more people. But when you sign people, you have to work on turning these people into business builders. If you're just signing a couple a month, then you have got to work on turning them into doing this business. And what I want to address in regards to that is that, some of you have been here for a while, some of you are newer. Some of you have said, like I was just talking to someone recently that was saying, I've been here for a while and, I'm moving, I'm growing, but I'm not moving at the pace I want. And, I'm just struggling to share this business like I should be. And I said, why is that? And she's like, well, because I'm not going like quite as fast as I'd like to go. And I said, okay. I said, why does your sharing this business, why should that have anything to do with you and your success? It should have nothing to do with you and your success. And I use myself as an example because when I was going from silver to gold, that's like, you're silver and you're working your way, but I didn't feel like, oh, I'm, established. When I hit gold, I felt like, okay, I'm going to feel good at hitting the second rank. But it wasn't based on my feelings of accomplishment, because in my mind, I wasn't quite accomplished yet until I hit gold. So let's just say if I was still halfway to gold, why would I not share this business? Okay, so what I'm saying is, when I was doing that, how I got to gold was getting business builders. And how I got business builders was me believing in them, was me telling them how amazing this business could be for them. And I could see them doing this business, and I would basically project that for them. And I would be so excited, and I had such belief and such encouragement in them that before you know it, you drip on them. Like she was saying, she has a drip list. You drip on them, or however you want to call it. You plant the seed, you water it, whatever. But you keep nudging them and finding ways to encourage them to do this business. And if you're not growing, you have to look at yourself and say, am I doing that? Am I doing that with every single ambassador that I sign? And if they've told me no, I don't want to do this business, that doesn't mean anything. That just means you just give them a break, and then you find a new way to come in and help them see the vision. Because so many people, I mean, Rachel and some of my other level 1 runners, there is not one method that I used on each one of them to get them to do this business. Each one is totally personal. Each one is totally different. My relationship with each one of them is totally different. There is not one magical way that you get people to do this business. You believe in them. You share with them the potential. You befriend them, and you just encourage them, okay? And sometimes you just link arms and say, go do this, or let's go do this, or go post on Facebook, be bold and bossy. There's lots of ways to do it. It depends on your relationship with the person. So I just feel like we need to make that clear, and that if you're feeling like you're at a stuck place, you're either not signing enough people, and even if you are signing enough people, what are you doing with them? You don't just want a bunch of wholesalers. Yes, I have loads of wholesalers on my team, but it is the leaders that you want. And you keep going after your wholesalers until they become leaders. Okay, Rachel, are you on?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to go off of that real quick. So I think the thing that, like Autumn was saying, there wasn't one specific thing that she said to me that was like, oh, I'm going to then, because you said that, I'm going to now do this business. It was really the excitement that she had in it, and really seeing that vision of what we have in front of us. And I will catch myself saying to a lot of my ambassadors who work the business, if they have someone that they're, signing, and they're just not catching that vision. And the vision is the excitement that we have. And I can tell you, almost being in this business now 3 years, July will be 3 years for me. This is something where we have to wake up every single day and be accountable to ourselves. We have to do that IPA. We have to be excited for our team. We have to put on, that game face when we're feeling maybe discouraged in our own business. This is stuff that we have to do that no one else is going to do for us. But this is the thing. You have to find your excitement in whatever it is in this business. And for me, like the hunger control, that's like, I'm like super, super excited about that. But the thing I'm really excited about is the Joyome. And for me, I went to esthetician school. I own my own permanent makeup business for over 10 years. So this is something that's like my niche. Like, I absolutely am beyond excited for this. And this is something where you have to look at these line of products and you have to say either Joyome, Triplex, Hunger Control, whatever and wherever you're at in your journey, that's what you're going to be pumped and, really gung-ho about. And then when you have that and you share that excitement, like today, I was able to call one of my girls and I was like, dude, I have this idea. I'm talking to her and I'm super pumped about it. And then she's pumped about it. And that's what creates that drive and desire and excitement in this business. And that is what fuels you both to run and grow in this. So you have to definitely, keep up with that. And then one of the things that I was going to talk about before my thing didn't work was sending out birthday messages. I know, some of you guys may not be doing birthday messages yet. It's important because I think people love to be told happy birthday. So to send them a message or to send them a sample, is a really great way to kind of break the ice. If they have already rejected the Slim once, you guys, we have Joyome samples now. I mean, this is something where you can look at your market and say, okay, maybe the triplex wasn't your cup of tea, and that's fine. You know, gut health isn't going to be for everybody. And it may not be that it's, I mean, obviously they need it, but if that's not where they're at right now, that's okay. We have now been given the opportunity to offer other products, such as this Joyome, such as the hunger control. And so this is something where you can send them, you know, a Joyome sample and just say, hey, you know, are you interested in this? And so you can send, you know, obviously that out to them, you know, and they may respond better with that than the Slim. What was the other thing, Autumn, that I was covering? My list isn't up.
Oh, we'll do events in just 1 second. But yeah, just anything to start a conversation, you guys. I have been doing birthday messages since probably the first of the year, and it's been really, really good. And it has gotten, and you know, if you can't financially afford to send out samples, you know, and not like every single, it's not, I'm not even sending out a birthday sample every day. As many friends as I have, you'd think I would be, but there's actually many days that there is no one that to send it out to, because maybe it's all Plexus people, or maybe I do send a message and they don't respond because they don't want a sample and they're not interested. So, but just, it's another way to be engaging with your audience and finding new little loopholes in how to get people to taste the pink drink, get their foot in the door, and then like Aubrey said, you know, get them into an event, find some other way to kind of lock them in, and all of that. So we're going to wrap it up here because we appreciate you guys. This was way longer than what we thought. Aubrey was just awesome, and I'm glad that you guys got to hear from her, and she just went a little longer than what we had thought. Last thing is, so our challenge, well, Rachel, go ahead and talk about the events for next month. We're going to be posting the graphic for next month so you guys know what's coming.
Okay, so next month we're going to do a 7-day challenge with the Slim, and then we're going to go into another Joyome 101 instead of a Plexus 101. So this is going to be something where you're obviously going to want to invite as many people as possible if you haven't, you know, already done that with this last time. One other thing you want to probably do if you do start your testimonial page, if you start messaging people, if the hunger control comes out or however you're messaging people, I said to them, because I have a testimonial page that I have started, and when I reached out to them about the hunger control, I said to them, hey, I also have a testimonial page. Can I add you to that? So this is another avenue where you can get them basically to that page if they have not already started the product or anything like that. So we are going to do the 101. We're going to do the 7-day challenge. We'll probably do the 101, I would assume, first. That way it gives them more time to get the
trial pack.
Yeah, I think the 101 is going to be during convention. So we need to just make sure we get people inviting your potentials, just because it's going to be too hard to interact for all the people that are going to convention, you know, and then obviously doing a 7-day challenge. So.
And then our challenge for the month is going to be to message 20 people a day. And I'm super excited for you guys, and I hope that you all participate in messaging 20 people a day. I'll tell you, it ends up being really fast. I haven't quite timed myself, but I want to say I can get it done in about 10 minutes because it's just copy paste. And I'm going to tell you right now, because I want to make sure that it's clear. So let's say you find, let's say you're in your local city group, okay, and you're in your city group, and you start going through the people in that city group. Now, if you notice, the girl, Rachel, that I'm telling you what she sends to her people. If you notice, her first thing is she says, I saw your post and hope you don't mind me reaching out to you. Now, that's a sneaky little way of trying to connect with people and not seeming too salesy, okay? Because realistically, when you go through, like if you go through a hashtag of like tired or like tired mom on Facebook, which I have done, it'll give you posts back from like a year or maybe even more, like from a year or more ago. So it could be literally true that someone posted about something at one given time that they were struggling with, okay? So anyway, you send this, and then people are either going to join your group, and you'll get a little request on your group to accept them, or they will say, what post are you talking about? And if that's the case, and if they say, what post? I just ignore them, okay? There's no point in engaging with them, because if they don't join the group, they obviously weren't interested enough to see what it's about. So they just are more wanting to converse about what post are you talking about, which is completely irrelevant to what I'm trying to do with them. So your goal is to just send that out. There is no follow-up. If you want to follow up, you can, but I mean, it's up to you. Sometimes, I will admit, sometimes I will go back and just send a happy face. If I like happen to be scrolling my messages, I'll just go send a couple happy faces, because with strangers, not everyone will even get your message because you're not friends on Facebook. That's why this girl in Australia, Rachel, that's why she just expects to get one person out of those 20. Okay, so that's the whole goal. I just want you to know, I don't want you to be discouraged if you are not getting any response, if people aren't seeing your messages. That's normal. And if you ever have any questions, come to me. I've been doing this for like, oh gosh, I think we're going on like 2 months now of doing this. And so I'm getting more people in my group. Some people have asked some questions and are interested, but very few. Most people are silent. The next group of people will actually add themselves to my group. And then there's a few that will ask questions. And then there's even like a couple that might even like get really mad that you message them. So just, get your skin all thickened up and tough, and you'll be fine. You'll survive. It's a complete stranger, so don't worry about it. But it'll be really good because you'll get these people in your testimony group, and you're just going to show them testimonies all day, every day of their whole life. And they can remove themselves. That's the thing. So this girl, last thing I'll say, the gal Rachel, when she friends those 3 people a day, guess what she does? She says they get to be her friend for 2 hours, and then they go in her testimony group. So she's friends with them for 2 hours or, whatever, until you notice. And then she puts them right in there. So she is working to build and grow that group so that more and more people can just see the testimonies of what Plexus is doing. Now, you can take it a step further. You can post a special in there if you want. You can maybe occasionally put a product information, like a highlight on block or something like that, if you would like, but I would really be careful to not do too much of that. Just the testimonies alone can go so far and, can really be great. All right, I think that's about it. Let's see. And, it just goes to show, Rachel, I didn't know if you had anything to say in regards to the numbers game of it all. I think you were going to say something. But you guys, this really is a numbers game, this whole network marketing thing. And if you watch the Amber Miller video that we just did the giveaway for, and if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. It's seriously one of the best trainings. She says, if you had 2 gold bricks in your backyard, would you ever stop digging? And you all have more than 2 gold bricks in your backyard, okay? Your whole backyard is eventually going to be worldwide with this company. Can you guys imagine, like, when we venture to Mexico, when we venture to Europe? Holy cow. So go hurry up and grow your business in the United States, in Canada, in Australia, in New Zealand. Go message people, go get yourself an international team. You're gonna find people that wanna do this business. So don't lose hope, don't give up, and don't be afraid to reach out and start working your cold market with strangers. Rachel, are you able to jump on or no? Okay, I don't think so. I was just gonna say that if you saw what the gal Marianne on Instagram, what her sponsor interviewed her, she said that she was messaging 400 people a month, and out of that she roughly got 40. So do the math, friends. If you're not growing at the pace that you want, then you have to be talking and filling your funnel with more people, more and more and more people. And as Aubrey said, if you're good on social media and you're interacting and you show yourself and brand yourself and share Plexus, as she was saying, and she's lived it, you don't even necessarily need to be like straight up messaging and building relationships, as long as you're doing it on social media or somewhere. But it's all a numbers game. All right. So go, if you didn't get to watch her interview and you tuned in late, by all means, you guys missed an incredible interview. So go listen to her. It was really, really good. All right, guys, any questions before we jump off? Yes, no, maybe so. I will take that as a, oh, yes. Heather, go ahead.
Yay. Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yay. Okay. So I've been in and out of this whole training, so I need to go back, and I'm glad you recorded it, so I'll watch it and learn more. But so quickly about your testimony page, do you guys feel that it's more just effective to just have testimonies on there instead of the product info? Is the product info too salesy? Like, what would be the reason it's just more effective to do testimony?
Yes. So, like I said, I mean, if you want to venture to do some product info here and there, but yes, the testimonies, all I can tell you is what works. And this girl in Australia, she's done only testimony and she's signing people. And I'll tell you, for me, I have not done any product info. I went ahead and I tried one the other day. I don't know if I'll continue. Maybe once in a blue moon I'll post something. But the thing is, we're not blasting Plexus. We're blasting health testimonies, like what this can do for people. So if you're going to do that, I would say just make it few and far between. Mostly make it testimonies because we know that works. And like I said, I have signed some new customers and ambassadors from my page. So I think it gives us, you know, don't be afraid. Don't even ask people, you guys. Don't ask them. Just add them to the page because they can remove themselves. And I've looked, and so far, I don't think anybody has removed themselves. And some of those people I've like been talking to about Plexus, and then all of a sudden they're on the page and now they want to come try it. So I just think commit to this, you guys. Start tonight. Go create a private group. You can name it whatever you want. Don't have the name Plexus in it. Have it only be about health. Mine is called Healthy Happy You. You can copy it if you want. Get a nice graphic that has nothing to do about Plexus and just post health testimonies. The health testimonies will talk about Plexus. People know your Plexus, but let the testimonies speak for themselves. Add people in and then start messaging strangers. Let them come in and just go grow your business.
Okay, yeah. And so real quick, just to clarify, so you're cold messaging people you don't know using Messenger, and you're finding them in various groups, like when we kind of do those searches of groups, like mom groups, or
you can go
location groups, or
you can find them anywhere. You can do
groups,
you can do pages, you can do friends of friends. Go through, a distant cousin's friends list, and go message them,
And then you're kind of using that verbiage that you were going through. I'll watch it again, but you kind of were reading that off a little bit.
I'm going to go post that right now.
Okay.
Legacy Leaders. Well, actually, I'll do this. I will post this recording in Legacy Leaders, and I'll post the verbiage underneath, okay? And then you just use that verbiage. You just copy and paste, guys. And like I said, be ready for all different types of scenarios. People message back, but you just let it roll off your back, because some people are going to join the page, and that's going to be a good day. So
cool. And then one more quick.
Yeah.
You are also doing the same thing on Instagram as well, just sending out messages to, like, you're kind of doing your search, tired mama, hashtag, whatever, right? And then finding people as a possibility, but you're doing it on Instagram and then kind of saying, hey, would you be interested in joining my Facebook group?
So
and then taking them over there.
I'm really glad you brought that up. You can do that on Instagram. Absolutely. I have not, I've been hitting people up more for the business on Instagram, just me personally. And if you want my verbiage on Instagram, I can totally give that to you. But that's actually something that you can do as well, is you can take this same exact message and you can go message people on Instagram. Same thing is going to apply. Not everyone's going to see your message on Instagram. And I think Instagram will only allow you to do, I don't know, it cuts you off. I want to say it like 15 people, but you just keep going. Just keep messaging until it stops you. And then you know you've done your max.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you guys can get doing this real fast. So you can bang this out in like, 15 minutes, maybe even. You're just copy and pasting real fast. So this is just a really great thing to do to add to your business each and every day.
And I just remembered too, I have a link on the top of my Instagram bio thing that has my little private Facebook group already. So I could say,
perfect,
the group is in my bio, because I already had one for just a few customers and it's a really small group and it's really heavy on product, but I could totally switch it over and focus more on testimony with it.
So what I would do for Instagram is I would include your link, make it super easy for strangers. You don't want them to have to go find anything. Just put the message, and then before you put the link, I would say, are you on Facebook? Because if so, or if you want to check it out, here's the page to check it out, and then post your link. Because you want to let them know that is a Facebook group. And that will take them to Facebook. Just by clicking on your link. If it's on Instagram, it might make them sign into Facebook first, but then it will take them right to your page. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Hey!
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yay. All right, guys. Will you help us set up the testimony page? I can absolutely help you set that up, Noelle. Yeah, in fact, let's do this. When I post this recording, if you need help setting up the group page and you need a graphic, comment below and I'll just accumulate you all and I'll put you in a little chat and I'll show you all how to do it, because it'd be easier to just show everyone all at once than multiple times, okay? So as soon as I post this recording, I'm going to upload it right now. Look for it probably in the next 30 minutes and then go comment and we'll get you going on your page. Yay, I'm so excited. All right, guys, have a good night. And if you have any other questions that we missed, just private message me. Okay, have a good one.